Hello everyone and welcome to my Q&A video. I've got quite a few questions here, but let's see if I can make it through them fairly quickly. I just want to thank everyone who left questions. It really means a lot to me, and everyone who has subscribed and been enjoying my music. That also means so much to me. Thank you so much. Alrighty, let's see. This first question is from Storm Chaser. Besides metal, what other music genres do you like to play? Well, I like playing orchestral, acoustic, ambient, some jazz. I like trying new things as well. I mean, I've actually even tried my hand at a bit of electronic music and tried working in a bit of tribal sort of stuff. I like playing whatever I feel like. But yeah, I always try to make it progressive though and try to sort of do it as a bit of a long evolving story as a song. His next question, what's your favourite song from MLP? Probably Winter Wrap Up, This Day Aria, Art of the Dress, Becoming Popular, and I actually quite liked Hearts as Strong as Horses as well. Sorry, I'm really bad at picking one answer to some of these questions, so beware for that. But yeah, those are probably my favourite songs. His next question, how did you become a brony? The very first thing I actually saw were, besides a couple of the sort of memes sort of popping up around the place, I thought, what's this? And I'll sort of put a YouTube search in for pony or brony or something like that. And the first thing I actually saw was Let's Go and Meet the Bronies by Jan Animations. And I thought, wow, that was pretty strange. That was okay. And then from there, I was probably really bored that day, and I thought, maybe I'll actually watch one of these shows because, I suppose so many people have this similar story. It's like, well, what's all the fuss about? So I watched the first two and thought, well, they weren't bad. I'll watch a couple more and a couple more. And then I was hooked. And Storm Chaser's last question, how did you meet Scribbler? Well, it was actually over a year ago, and before the Heroic Tales was sort of brought up or mentioned, I was actually watching and enjoying her amazing readings. And it was actually when I was really quite new to the Brony fandom as well, and I actually only just started uploading some of my songs. And I really didn't know anyone in the Brony fandom, and I just sent her a message saying, I absolutely love the work you're doing, and then we just started exchanging messages from there, and yeah, that's how she became one of my very first Brony friends. Alrighty, next question from Ascordian. Why don't you unite your songs in a playlist? I'm not sure how to do this. I should probably look it up. Although actually, I've just found out YouTube has thrown everything that I upload into a playlist on its own, and it drives me crazy. Bloody YouTube. Or Google+, Google, whatever. I'll blame someone. But yeah, they're in a playlist now. Maybe I should look up how to put them in a proper playlist. But I'm touched that you would want to listen to my songs in a playlist. Thanks, Ascordian. Alrighty. Next question's from WolfX1120. Thank you on the way to go for 1,000 subs. Let's see. When did you become a brony? Around January 2013. Best pony is Rarity. Do you like my comments? I love your comments. Thank you. Why? Well, because they make me feel good, and it makes me happy that you enjoy my songs. Next question is from Joseph Chronium Gamer. Tell me your favourite songs from Satriani. It's a hard one. That is a hard one indeed. He has many amazing songs. He's incredibly talented. But I actually prefer some of his slower, less absolutely crazy technical sort of songs. Some of my absolute favourites from him are, and this isn't in any real order, Hands in the Air, Mindstorm, If I Could Fly, The Extremist, and Why. Alrighty, next question is from Little Pip. I've noticed that you never have the same song art is used on your YouTube video as a song art in your SoundCloud. Why is this? This is actually a really, really good question, and I was wondering if someone would ask this. Since a lot of my songs are instrumentals and very open to interpretation, I write multiple stories or themes within them, And I share them with many music groups, some of which don't actually know that I'm a brony. In sort of some communities, I'm a bit of a closet brony, I suppose. And because I want to share them with everyone, that's why there's a sort of non-pony picture up on the SoundCloud, but on the YouTube version, I choose the pony sort of side of the story that inspired the song, if that makes sense. Next question is from PyroBugsZero, and he asks, congrats, you deserve all the recognition you can get. Thank you, Pyro. His question is pretty standard, probably. What other brony musicians do you like to listen to? I've got a few. I really enjoy the works of Visions of the Poet, Screams from Equestria, The L Train, Secret Metal, Forever Free Brony, Equestrian Lord, Forest Rain, Midnight Rain, Aoshi Den, Gatto Paint, Pony Sphere. I could go on for a while, and I'm sure I've missed some awesome people, and there's some great singers out there as well who, I mean, yeah, there's so many, but those are probably some of my top favourites, I suppose. Next question from Gray R. Gray's a good friend of mine. Well, it's about dadgum time you hit 1K. I remember coming across your music and was amazed by its impact and execution. Thank you, Gray. You probably have more than 1,000K fans, more popular. That's actually a bit of a funny story. Apparently, Gray went to a convention and asked a group of people if they know me and if they know Scribbler, and more know me than knew Scribbler in that small group of friends. So it's become a bit of a running joke within our kind of circle of friends that I was more popular than Scribbler, which is very silly, but it's funny. Okay, his question: do I like steak? It doesn't have to be beef steak. If so, how do you prefer it? I do like steak. I don't have it very often, but when I do have it, I prefer it to be well done. Seeing blood in my food kind of freaks me out a bit. Next question. Have you ever played an instrument that wasn't meant to be an instrument, i.e. spoons, washboard, wine glass? My desk at work makes a pretty good makeshift drum most of the time, and I'm tapping on it all the time. And when I was a kid, I actually stretched elastic bands over a tissue box and pretended that was a string instrument, a bit of an acoustic guitar. Foreshadowing. Does this count as a question? If so, how do you answer it? It does count, and I choose to answer it with a question. What would you like me to say? Tea, coffee, sweet or unsweet? Tea, moderately sweet. Do you feel a song as you write it, or do you write what you feel? Ooh, I like this question. Answer is both. I get a feeling and try to express it with a song, and as I do, it sort of intensifies and grows and changes a bit, which is why I find some of my songs have a bit of a progression between different themes. Who's best Ponymon? Pokemon Pony. Umbrarity. Umbreon Rarity? Alright, let's see. Number 7. Have you ever been in an eating contest food challenge? Substitute question. If not, well, I haven't. What's your favourite cuisine? Let's see. I've a few different kinds of foods, although I've never really been hugely crazy adventurous with the different foods I like to eat. Most of mine are really quite plain, I suppose, but I mean, I do enjoy nachos, just original Doritos, cheese and some sauce, nothing really fancy at all, and spaghetti bowl, which again, I have it really quite plain. I do like lots of desserts though. I'll go kind of crazy for different kinds of fancy chocolatey, ice creamy kind of things. I like my desserts. Let's see. Oh god, this one's going to kill me, isn't it? Like Zakora can rhyme, you can keep good time. But if you're faster than her, yet the chords don't blur, while her words slur, you strum. Can you tell that I'm reading this on the fly? And I completely lost where I was. Faster to show who's the master, her words become a disaster, bit like this at the moment. Whilst you shred on a Stratocaster. Not really a question, just saying you rock. Thanks, man. Do you like puns? If so, what's your favourite? Puns are cool, although it's very spur of the moment kind of thing, I guess. I mean, you're much more clever with your puns than I am. I don't sort of have any off the top of my head that I like to throw out there. What is one dish or meal you've always wanted to eat? A lot of people are probably going to crucify me for this, except I've never actually tried waffles, and they look nice. I'd like to try them. Also, being from the south, yeah. Yeah, well, I suppose Australia does count as the south, doesn't it? Next one, another 1,000,001 questions from another friend of mine, Flame Lionheart. Geez, only 1,000, man. How with your amazing songs and you guys. Anywho, questions. What's your drum set like? May we see it? You may. This is a picture of my drum set here. I choose to keep it in a large open room that's bigger than my lounge room. Just because who needs space? Next question. Who is your biggest inspiration? Probably Stephen Wilson, Devin Townsend. I mean, they're my favourite artists. How did you learn to play? I was self-taught. I sort of started covering sort of easy Metallica riffs when I was first starting out, some of the really simple ones like Enter Sandman, and then, everyone learns on Smoke on the Water as well. And then from there, I just started mucking around with my own stuff, and that's pretty much 10 years of my life. Ever think of doing covers of show songs or popular fandom songs? You've got a really unique sound. I bet you could really turn some heads with that. Thanks, man. Contradicting my previous answer a little bit, I don't really like doing covers very much. I've kind of got so many ideas of my own that it seems a bit of a waste to redo covers, especially when, they're already so good as they are. But I'm touched that you'd think that my style could lend itself well to covers. Thank you. Next question. Do you call it a tornado or twister, aerial swirly, cow flinger, or Dorothy's worst nightmare? We call them cyclones down here in Australia. What would your ideal vacation be? Well, it's actually coming up in, as of the time recording this, a couple of weeks. My ideal vacation would be seeing close friends and exploring a new country that I've never been to before. Any invites to play at any conventions yet? They don't know what they're missing out on. Thanks. A few sort of informal ones, but the idea of playing at a convention kind of overwhelms me a little bit. My songs have so many different kinds of instruments, and the idea of having everything except one guitar playing over a PA just seems kind of fake to me. And then also the idea of getting even half of the musicians I'd need to try to play some of the songs I've got is just ridiculously over the top insane. Next question, Celestia or Luna? Luna, just barely, but I do really like Celestia as well. I think she gets a bit of a bum rap from all the big Luna fans out there. Next question, you gonna keep rock and rolling and being an awesome dude? I'll do my best. Thanks, sweetly. Next question's by Wallach 92 SFC. Reverb or delay? I know they're both different for different purposes, but just in general. Well, yeah, no, they are quite a bit different, and while I do really like them both, I suppose I'm a little biased towards my namesake. I suppose I have to go with Reverb. Do you happen to have something like a typical way of completing the process from inspiration to a complete tune? Probably the most common way I have is I have a bit of a vision like I was talking about before. I'll sort of start a song sort of starting with one emotion or scene or just a general idea or riff, and then kind of just work on that and build on that and just keep going and going and going until I think I should probably end this soon. It's around 10 minutes long. And then I try to wrap it up. But no, usually I also like to, have the end part sort of a big climax of the song. And then after that, I kind of jump through the mixing and mastering kind of fairly quickly because I never really enjoy that part very much. Next question. For recording, do you use live amps or DI impulses? I bet DI, as most modern producers do. I plug my guitars directly into the computer and sort of run the sound through tune track guitar and bass amplifiers, and that's how I get my guitar sounds. Next question. You prefer metal with clean vocals or growling? To be honest, I'm rather picky about both. Some growls sort of annoy me, and then also some clean vocals really annoy me. I would have to say probably clean vocals. I just think as long as either of them are done well and works with the music, that's the most important thing to me. I like to see vocals as another instrument rather than sort of their own thing, which is above and beyond the song, but I could be a little biased against vocals sometimes. Most obvious cue. The most badass chord in your opinion is... believe it or not, I actually don't know the names of many of the chords I play. Because I'm entirely self-taught, I know very little about actual music theory. But the most badass chord would probably have to be one of Opeth's really evil, diminished ones. Opeth has some really funky chords, especially in their clean songs. Next question. Do you like the sound of an acoustic guitar more or hard, overdriven electric guitar? You know, I'm kind of cheating here, but I like both for different reasons. I know I'm really bad with these questions, but I probably just barely have to side on the side of distorted guitars. They're just so much fun. So thanks in advance. I'll be looking forward to the answers. Future song releases, keep up the good work, and most important, have fun. Thank you very much, Wallach. Next question from Matthew Bryant. Anybody can succeed if they try. 1,000 subs, congratulations. Thank you. I always enjoy your work and I'm always looking forward to more. Thank you again. What is your inspiration and what keeps you going? You guys. Sort of two things, I suppose. One is the rush of creating a new song that I feel really passionate about. I'm addicted to that feeling and I keep wanting to recreate it, so I keep trying to make more and more songs. And secondly is the lovely, wonderful comments by you guys. Next question is from an angry hamster. Has metal always been your preferred genre? I've always been a bit of a metalhead, yeah, but I think my favourite genre is actually progressive rock, sort of leaning more towards progressive metal. Certainly one of my preferred genres, metal, though, yeah, absolutely. Next question. Do you have any unusual, quirky setups or habits when playing or recording? Not really, though I do record each riff in loops. So I sort of play the same riff 10 times over and over and then go through and pick out the best takes of it and pan one to the left and one to the right. And I suppose that could be seen as quite weird. Next question is from Alexander Selly. Do you have a pet? I do have a pet. I have a pet cat. His name is Willow, although for the next year he's actually going to be staying with my parents because I'm temporarily renting and it's a really tiny place and I think he'd be much happier up there, but I do really miss him. Yeah. Next question. Who's your favourite of the main 6 in MLP? They're all really, really awesome, but again, I'd have to say Rarity's my favourite. Dress Pony is best pony. Next, do you like bananas? Oh shit. No, please. Please don't make me go. I'll try harder. I promise. I promise I'll try harder. Please. No, I really like them. But, no, I don't actually really like bananas. To answer the question, honestly. Not really. Next question. Would you be my friend? I'd love to be your friend. As long as you don't send me to the moon. Can I stay on Earth? Can I be your friend from Earth? Next question is from Control-Alt-Delete Man. Which of those guitars are your favourite? I hate picking favourites between my children, but if the rest of them aren't listening, it'd probably be my PRS. My PRS is my baby. It cost me over $3,000. But yeah, no, it'd have to be my PRS. Also, I'm excited for the song with vocals. It's good to know that some people that do music in the fandom read fanfiction. Fanfiction gets such a bad rap sometimes. It does get a bad rap sometimes, doesn't it? But yeah, no, I do enjoy the fanfiction, and specifically I enjoy a lot of the fanfiction readings out there as well. Next question is from Max Sham. Congratulations. Thank you. How old are you? I am 25. Going to be turning 26 in a couple of weeks. Next question. What do you do for a living? I'm a draftsman by trade. It's, for those of you who don't know what a draftsman is, it's kind of similar to being an architect. I draw and design and model sort of more mechanical mining structural type things like conveyors, chutes, guards, walkways, platforms, etc. sort of for big mining companies like BHP, Rio Tinto, sort of things like that. Next question. What else do you like aside from ponies and music? I like Pokemon. Pokemon's cool. I do a bit of competitive battling and team building on those on the Pokemon versions. I only just started getting to that with Pokemon Y. If any of you have Pokemon Y and friend codes and do the battling or trading or anything like that, I'd love to make some trades with you. I also like my RPG games, like the Final Fantasy ones, Skyrim, Diablo, Lost Kingdoms. Ni no Kuni was an awesome game when that came out. Kingdoms of Amalur, if anyone's heard of that one. And I also love chatting with my good friends. Most of them are from the Heroic Tale. Next question. Do you have a favourite movie? Man, that's a tough one. I've got a lot of movies that I really like, but it'd be pretty hard to pick a favourite. Maybe one of those recent Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. Those ones are really cool. I like them. But yeah, I like a lot of movies. Movies are tough. Now that My Little Pony Season 4 is over, what did you think of it overall? I thought it was great. There are a few episodes here and there that I had an issue or two with. And, I mean, I can be really weird and picky about things, but, I mean, overall, I thought it was awesome. One thing I kind of missed a little bit more in... which I really liked about Season 2 was I really kind of miss everything being a little more grounded and sort of centered around Ponyville and just sort of focusing a lot just on the characters. Although in saying that, I mean, there were a lot of great episodes in Season 4 which had exactly that. So, I mean, I really can't complain. It was awesome. Next question. Do you read or watch an anime or manga? I watch a bit. But most of it will kind of fall under either sort of the stuff which Studio Ghibli kind of brings out or Dragon Ball Z and sort of a few others here and there. I enjoy Fairy Tail, Eden's Bowie. Thank you, Scribbler, for that. And a couple others here and there. I have not seen Kill la Kill. No, sorry. Next question from GL Melee 13. Hey Reverb, congrats on 1,000 subs. Thank you. Here's my question. If or when the Brony fandom dies out, will you continue to make epic music? Thank you again, and absolutely, yes, music's my life. I can't imagine stopping for anything. Next question from Kendall Berison. Congrats, you deserve it. Very well done. You do a fantastic job. Thank you, Kendall. First question. How long have you worked with Obab Scribbler? Heroic Tales was actually the first time we've worked together, but we've been friends for a little longer than that. How long have you been making music? Well, this is a tough one because I've actually been playing guitar for about 10 years, and even when I first started, I was kind of trying to make songs then, but the kind of songs which I've been uploading, like the ones which I sort of do on the computer, I've only been doing for a little over a year, but it's so much fun and I can't imagine doing songs any other way. But I mean, before that I used to write a whole bunch with just an acoustic, and you don't want to hear them. A lot of them are pretty bad. Some of them are okay, I suppose. Next question. What got you into the Brony fandom? Like I said before, I saw some of the memes up and around the place, and then I saw Let's Go Meet the Bronies and Jan Animations. Thought it was kind of strange. Watched some episodes. That was my story. Next question. What inspires you most in life? Probably pretty predictable, but it'd probably be music. And also my new friends as well. I can't imagine life without my new friends, especially for such a long time, not really having that many close friends. And now these awesome people in the Heroic Tale are really quite special to me, so I can't imagine not having them in my life. But what inspires me the most in life, it'd probably be music. Music is huge to me. Next question. What do you like most about the Brony fandom, music in general, and working with OPAB Scribbler? The fandom, I love how kind everyone is, at least for the most part. I love how creative it all is with the art, the music, the stories, all being inspired by the show. And I mean, I've been inspired by some of the art and stories, and at the same time, I've actually heard stories about some of the artists and even a couple of fanfics writers sort of being inspired by my music, and that is so crazy humbling. And I suppose inspiration being built off other inspiration is just an amazing concept, and that's really my favorite part about the fandom is just its huge creativity. About music in general, for me, is sort of, this is going to sound really cheesy, but for me, it's kind of a gateway into a dream of what I love to do. It's like being unbound by physicality, sight, and sound. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's the best way I can describe sort of what music is to me. It's just entering another world. And the best part about working with OPAB Scribbler is because she's awesome. And she's one of my very best friends, and I feel truly blessed to have met her and have the pleasure to work with her. Next question. Favorite pony and musician? It'd be Rarity, and favorite musician, probably Steven Wilson. What else do you do for fun besides ponies and music? As I mentioned before, Pokemon, it's lots of fun, RPGs, and chatting with my friends. That's all. Also, if you want to know how the world to pronounce my last name, it's pronounced Bear and Son. Did I pronounce it Bear and Son? I don't think I did. I'm sorry. Thank you, Kendall, Bear and Son. Next question from CWInsomnia. Actually, I just recently heard your Luna song. That was really cool. I want to add you to my list of other musicians who I like to listen to because you have some great stuff as well. Sorry, actual question. How many guitars do you have? All up, I have 6, though I only have 4 which I use for recording. Favorite guitar brand? For purely heavy metal, probably Schecter. For acoustic, Maton. And for pretty much everything else, PRS. But I mean, I haven't really tried that many, and I'm a bit biased. I'm just picking the ones I use, but I'm very happy with how those ones are. Next question. How do you get motivated or inspired to make a new song? As I mentioned before, I sort of get a bit of a vision or a scene or something that I want to try to recreate with music and then kind of go from there. Or I'll just be mucking around and come up with a riff and kind of build something off that. Best pony? Rarity. I'll say it all day. Rarity is best pony. When did you start to play guitar? I was about 15, so yeah, 10 years ago. I was in high school and just thought it looked really cool and wanted to try it, and from there I was lost. What's the most interesting thing about the show for you? Probably the fandom. I mean, really. Apart from that, I mean, I love how three-dimensional the characters are with their personalities, and I love how their personalities clash and creates for great storytelling. That's probably my favourite part about the actual show itself is, the way the characters are written. Next question is from Solar Pony. This question is, how did you become such an amazing guitarist? Thank you. I don't think I'm really that amazing, but thank you. That means a lot. I'd say really lots of practice. But I mean, practice doesn't imply playing the same thing over and over. I never really did a lot of that because I never really did a lot of live shows. So I didn't feel the need to practice something to death. But just playing guitar. I mean, if you do it long enough, no matter how you do it, you pick up ways to do it okay. If any professional teachers are probably listening to this, they're probably pulling their hair out, screaming at me. But yeah, I mean, my advice is just play and just have fun. I mean, if you want to get better, you got to want to play. I mean, if you make it really tedious for yourself and it becomes a chore to play, then you're not really going to get any better because you're not going to play it. Next question from Theatre Freak. Theatre Freak's a good friend of mine. I've heard that a lot of musicians name their instruments. Care to introduce us to some of yours? Man, I wish I had a cool answer for this, but I really don't. The names I give my guitars are really quite boring. I mean, I've got my Schecter Hellraiser 7 string guitar here, which I call Schecter, or the Schecter. I've got my Maton acoustic, which I call my Maton acoustic. I've got my PRS, which I call my PRS. And I've got my 5-string LTD bass, which I call Ilya Leonov. Nah, I call it. I just call it my bass. Next question from Visions of the Poet. Dang, you should have 10,000 subs by now. Thank you, Visions. Question: have you studied music professionally, or are you self-taught? I know it's probably going to be the latter. Yep, no, I'm self-taught. Did you know you remind me of John Petrucci if he trimmed his beard a bit? Holy shit, I am not worthy. Thank you. Favorite shows aside from MLP? Well, I just started watching Sonic Sat AM, and that was a fantastic show. I mean, I wish I'd watched that as a kid. I'm not even sure if it was on in Australia, but I mean, that was really awesome. I'm really enjoying Game of Thrones. I loved Firefly when that was on. I wish they'd bring that back. I miss Firefly. Boston Legal was a great show. Not sure if many of you guys know about that one. I really love Dragon Ball Z. Mythbusters is always fun. House, Friends, Scrubs. Favorite Nintendo franchise? Yeah, probably Pokemon, although I do also love Super Smash Bros. I'm really looking forward to that new Smash Bros. Coming out. Do you have any musicians as idols? Stephen Wilson, Devin Townsend are my favourite. I also really love Marius Dudar, who's the singer for Riverside. He's amazing as well. Really looking forward to seeing him in Germany. Next question is from the Lost Narrator. Lost is also a good friend of mine. How did you become such a badass with your guitar skills? Oh, you guys are so nice. Just lots of playing and mucking around. I mean, I'm usually always glued to my guitar. But I'm really not as good as a lot of people and a lot of other people in the fandom, but I'm touched that you guys think I'm a good guitarist. What are some of your favourite songs in general? Favourite songs in general? Holy crap, this could go on forever. I've got over 500 super favourite songs that I couldn't even begin listing off. Even if you picked a certain artist, I wouldn't be able to list my top favourite. Even top 10 for each artist would be a nightmare. I'm so sorry. It changes way too much. I'm sorry. What do you think about Season 4? As I was saying before, I thought it was really good. I mean, I didn't enjoy it as much as maybe Season 2, but I thought it was really great. Really looking forward to Season 5. What are some of your favourite fanfiction readings and audio plays? Wow, okay. Well, I mean, I love everything by yourself, Scribbler, Ilya Leonov, Gumbasa. But to pick out some of my absolute really top favourites, okay, let's see. Probably Upheaval by Forest Rain. I'm really addicted to that. Observatory Hill by Def Funk I thought was amazing. Your reading of Temptation was really, really good. Scribbler's reading of Twilight Plays with Dolls. Ilya's reading of Past Sins. The Anthropology reading and all of Gumbasa's Simple Shorties. Yeah, no, I've got a pretty long list of the favourite readings as well. But you guys do some amazing ones. What is the best ship in MLP? Hint, there is only one answer. Absolutely, there is only one answer. It is the Rare Jack ship all the way. Although I got to say, it's sort of closely followed by... I mean, I really like the Twijack ship as well. I've seen that in a couple sort of stories and thought that was a really, really sweet one. And also I really like the Flutterdash one as well. Next question by Screams from Equestria. Yeah, I like Screams. He's also been a good friend of mine for a long time. Right, good job on getting to 1,000 subs. Thanks, man. Something tells me you'll be at 2,000 before I blink. Good one. You funny. Do you think you have more swag or class? I don't know. Maybe slightly more class? I don't know. I'm happy to be either. Do you think dogs could ever fly? I think nearly anything can fly. It's the landing safely bit that gets tricky. What comes after 69? Wow. I feel this might be a reference to something I don't get. Is it 70? Or sex? I don't know. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Next question's by the L Train. You guys were calling me a good guitarist. Check out this guy if you want a good guitarist. What guitars do you have? What tunings do you use? I'll quickly go over my guitars again because I've done it so much. My custom 24 PRS, Schecter 7-string Hellraiser, Maton acoustic, LTD 5-string bass. I've also got a limited edition Spider BC Rich, although it looks really cool. It's not very good for recording. And what kind of tunings do I use? I tune my PRS to open C tuning, which is Devon Townsend tuning, and it's so much fun. I know it's must be the first time you play it. If you're really used to standard tuning, it probably feels really weird and backwards, but I just love it so much. My acoustic is tuned so that the 2nd fret is standard E tuning, and then I always play with a capo, usually on the 3rd or 4th or 1st fret. Usually I don't usually play in the standard tuning. I think I've got one song here or there in standard tuning, but I mean, yeah, that's how I play that, just because sometimes I like to go further back from the standard tuning. And my 7-string is drop A sharp, so drop A sharp. So it's like A sharp, F, A sharp, D sharp, I think G, C, something. It gets a little fuzzy after there because I just chug away on the top strings and everything else, which it gets a little solo where I go straight to my PRS. Next question. What gear do you use computer audio effects software? The software I use is Reaper is my main program, which I run everything out of. Superior Drummer 2, Easy Mix for all my mixing, Easy Mix Metal Gods, Add-on Pack for my guitar sounds and my bass sounds. Alchemy Camera is where I get some of my sort of electronic-y sort of sounds, some of my ghosty sort of sound effects. Contact 5 is where I get all my strings and choir sounds. East-West Symphonic Choirs is where I've got a couple of the choirs I've used very rarely because it's really annoying to use. I used that one on Battle of the Ages and also the opening of Heaven's Eclipse. And I also recently bought Damage as well, which is another Native Instruments pack, sort of like Contact 5. That one I actually used on the song which is on the Fallout Equestria album, and that one now has a name as well. That song is called Remedy. And I'll put a link down below to where that album is because, you guys should go check it out. It's an awesome album. I'm number 30 on the list. There's a lot of songs on there, but yeah, I'm on to be a part of that list. I record everything through my Sapphire Pro 14, which is my little box where my microphone, which I'm speaking into now, goes into, and then into my computer, and there's also where my guitar plugs into, and that's what I use for that. The favourite musicians, bands, both within and outside the Brony fandom. Okay, within the Brony fandom are the ones I mentioned before, including you, of course. Outside the fandom, I'm just going to try to quickly just run off some really quickly because I've got so many. Porcupine Tree, Riverside, Devon Townsend, Anathema, Pineapple Thief, OSI, Stephen Wilson, his solo stuff, Opeth, Carnival, Butterfly Effect, God is an Astronaut, Birthday Massacre, a really cool bit of a guilty pleasure, I suppose. Some of my really heavy influences, Otep, Lamb of God, In Flames, Machine Head, Meshuggah, Isis, Gojira. I could go on for so long, but I mean, those are just some of my top favourites and sort of off the top of my head. How have you enjoyed the change of weather between Karratha and Fremantle? It's quite a change. It is quite a change, especially just before the winter started. It's been absolutely freezing down here. But I'm quite lucky I'm in a really well insulated sort of place because I'm in a unit where someone's on either side of me and someone's above me, and there's also a fence outside the unprotected area, and then the other side is like a main hallway with another room beside that, so I'm really well insulated. I don't even have to really have the heater on much, and outside it's like 10 degrees Celsius. Some of you are probably in Europe and go like, that's nothing, what are you talking about? But for me it's cold. GL Melly 13 asked another question. He asks, in your opinion, what is a fate worse than death? thinking about this one could be grim. Being kept alive by torture. Watching everyone you love slowly dying in front of you. Losing your favorite CD. I don't know. There's some bad ones out there. Also, given the chance, would you do a collaboration with Volbeat and or Metallica? Hell yeah. That'd be amazing. To collab with any big band would just be an absolutely amazing experience. I mean, God, you'd learn so much. It would be crazy. And that, I believe, is my last questions. Wow. If you made it this far, holy crap, congratulations. Actually, you know what? I mean, pretty much everything I've always heard about showing work in progress songs is always a bad idea, but you guys deserve something special if you listen this far. I'm going to show you a piece of music that I just wrote today. I mean, it's the start of a song which you probably wouldn't hear the finished version of for a long time unless you frequent my SoundCloud, but yeah, you guys deserve something special. You guys are going to be the very first people to ever hear this, which I wrote, and I think you guys deserve that. But I mean, it's very subject to change, hasn't been mixed or mastered or anything like that. It's just, bare bones, what I came up with in a couple of hours today. But yeah, I mean, you guys deserve to be the first ones to hear it, and I want to show it to you. So yeah, this is Work in Progress song number 67. This video went for so long, didn't it? I know I said I'd try to get through it quick, but holy crap, I did a bad job, didn't I? Thank you again, everyone, so much for those of you who asked the questions, and everyone who subscribed to me. It truly means so much. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to share some of my new songs with you. I've actually got some coming up, which I think you'll really like. But yeah, no, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again. See ya. Bye-bye.